So I love that music. Such a nice soundtrack. Okay. So, how loud did I have it? Probably like this. Is she holding her arm a bit weird? Hmm.
Were you guided here by kindly Mikola? I am Leda. And like you, I was guided by faith along his honorable path. Touch the withered arm, and you too will be transported to the realm of shadow where Mikola the Kind now dwells. My compatriots are there already. Like us, they have heard kindly Mikola's call. If you can find them, they are certain to lend you aid.
If you keep in mind that Mikola might be a greater will parallel, it sounds so much like the greater will. And who's associated with golden light in general.
Come now, touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
For example, when she says that we were probably guided by kind Mikola to this place, she could have also said that we were guided by the guidance of grace to this place as well.
Come now. I will not be far behind.
Okay, let's go. I actually think the ladder is a Radagon parallel. So, and like her, we are guided by kindly Mikola. Or the greater will, in a way. Oh, the sky. So these colors of the color scheme of red, black. Oh, wait a second. Such a nice view. Hi, Sneaky Turtle. Oh, that's a goddamn good question, I have to say. It's something that I was thinking a lot about, and it's something that I'm not really sure either if that's the case or not. Because yeah, it has to do that I am still not sure in which way he Godfrey obtained Zerosh. So it seems like, and there might even be different layers, because I think Zerosh symbolically stands for I think Zerosh symbolically stands for what is it called in English? Like for a specific point of view, for specific way of thinking, and it's in the Beast Crest heater shield that I'm wearing, where it is said, features a beast as its crest, serving to remind warriors not to succumb to the arousal of battle, fight with passion, but become not its prisoner. And it's depicting Zerosh, and so here I'm still, there's something that going on with becoming a prisoner or losing oneself to the arousal of battle. Hey, Xavier. Yeah. I think that's more like good wisdom that is described there. But I think it has to do with the following, and it has also to do with the Crucible. I think like the core concept of souls and how you gain strength is by defeating enemies, going through battle, and it's grafting. It's exactly. So I imagine the core concept like this. You going through battle, you're getting forged through battle, defeat your enemies, and afterwards you consume their soul and their powers to gain strength. But now here now comes the key, I think. When it comes to Godfrey, and the Beast Crest heater shield, and what Zerosh actually stands for, it is about not to succumb to the arousal of battle, and not to consume like too many souls, because you will kind of going crazy and lose yourself with bloodthirst. And what Godfrey and Zerosh stands for symbolically is like to not consume too much. It's just like that. And I think that's also the reason why Zerosh is like just... It's like the opposite. It's the other way around. You would think, okay, Zerosh is like holding Godfrey back. But I think it's like symbolically the opposite, because the thing is, Godfrey didn't consume Zerosh entirely. And that's why he's on his back. He did not consume Zerosh entirely and took his soul inside of him. But he just left him on his back. And in the end, it's kind of... I think it seems like that's also what happens in the very end, when he turns to Horalu again. Because when he turns to Horalu again, he's actually taking in Zerosh's soul completely, but also becoming a beast. And it's also why he's fighting like a lion, like a beast, and why the hand and the claws of Serosh are overlapping and moving in the exact same way. Because what's happening, I think, from in the transition from Godfrey to Horalu is actually the thing that he takes in his soul completely. And beforehand, it was just, yeah, you could say maybe grafted in a semi way, but not completely. And there's even a little, I think there's even a little nod in Nephili's dialogue, because after the first fight against Godric, you meet Nephili in the Round Table Hold, and she's saying something like, so she's giving you the Arsenal Charm, the first one, which is depicting the grafted blade greatsword, or at least inspired by it, and she's saying she found it by scavenging corpses, but she don't want to make it a habit. So she don't want to make it a habit to scavenge corpses. And it's alluding to the concept of not graft too much, not consume too much of your enemies, because you're yeah. I think that's what's actually Serosh stands for, but I don't know. Yeah, you kind of lose your mind probably, or if you consume too much, you are. I think that's also probably also what maybe accursed blood is, because you the more souls you consume, the influence of the greater will might take place inside of you, maybe. I haven't fleshed out every detail, but that's how I imagine it. Never go full Rykard, yeah. I think, but I think it's actually exactly this, like with Dragon Communion, for example, yeah. And I think this is one of the core, like, principles, and one of the traits that's distinct Radagon from Godfrey, because I think Radagon kind of loosed himself to exactly this. Okay, I just thought it's very interesting. Yeah, but now I don't see the sky anymore. Okay, kind of sad. When I just entered the realm of shadow, the sky really looked like it was red, gold, black, and white in a murky way. And these colors, I associate these colors heavily with destined death. Because they are also appearing in Godwyn's dream, for example. And these colors even appear, I think, at least on Stormvale's walls. But yeah, Dragon Communion might be a good example of this concept. I have to say, I'm even speculating that it's also what makes your blood boil. And so, wait a second. There was the remembrance of the Blood Lord, for example. No, this is not. There was a description which it said it's probably one of his weapons. So I think it was probably one of his weapons, but one of his weapons said that the blood of omens is kind of getting blessed with the power of with Blood Flame or so. Now here. The Mother of Truth craves wounds. When Morg stood before her deep underground, his accursed blood erupted with fire, and that he was besotted with the defilement that he was born into. No, that's something else. I think it might be a little bit different though. Okay, never mind. Okay, forget what I said. Oh yeah, that's a good thing that you mentioned Bale actually, because I forgot that I wanted to. I mean, now that you're here, I might be shortly explain how I see the DLC lore-wise. Oh yeah, there's the gold, black, red, white sky. These remind me of the color scheme of Godwyn's dream, by the way. And I think it's actually... the circumstances might actually be quite similar. Okay, what do we see? We see Bellerod. I mean, all of the other... what else do we see? Like, okay, Raw Runes, Castle Anzus, Shadow Keep, Shadow Tree, the Suppressing Pillar, what it's called, and Jack Peak. And the moon. Okay, so I think I have found the references to these circumstances already in the base game now. And it's right over here. So I think it was Corrin's story that actually already told the events of the DLC. And I think Corrin tells the story of Radagon. He's a Radagon parallel, and when it comes to his very distant past, you might know Corrin knows the incantations Catch Flame and Flame Sling, I think, which both speak of the prophecy, and the prophecy of burning the Earth Tree. And Corrin, after he's leaving the Round Table Hold, starts over here and ends up on the other side of the bridge over here. Over there. So you could imagine that his story kind of follows this road. And he ends up on the other side of the bridge. And I think they are sometimes telling stories along roads. And I think just symbolically, this part of his story is kind of Radagon's story, who actually opposed a tree in the distant past in the Farm Azula era, and three things. I think he, I think it is about the distant Farm Azula era, where we got a crossed tree. So in the very distant past, Farm Azula still in contact, still in, still functioning. Not then you got the Shadow Tree. Radagon invaded Farm Azula, burned everything down, and with the powers of a dragon. Because I think probably he was opposing Farmer Azula and the Ancient Dragons kinda partook in Dragon Communion, probably, and gained the powers of a dragon this way, and ended up killing Renna and the Elden Beast by taking in their soul, and yeah, falling for the greater will in the end. And this is what I think is here along the road actually referenced. And okay, we're starting here with Corrin on his own without the Noble Gold Mask, without the Greater Will's influence, who's invading Farmer Azula with the powers of a dragon. And now what's really interesting are these 3 shields that the merchant is selling, because it is exactly these 3 shields. So what do we have here? We got the Scorpion Kite Shield, which stands for an surprising attack. We got the Crossed Tree Tower Shield, referring to the crossed tree, which probably was present in the old Farmer Azula era. And we got the Red Crest Heater Shield, which is referencing red wings. And I think all of these are related. We got even the Gravel Stones, probably hinting to Farmer Azula and Ancient Dragons. And even 8 times, which I think is hinting at even a confrontation between Godfrey and Radagon. Why they are sold here 8 times. I mean, we also get the Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook, which might hint to Ancient Dragon relationship here. But I think these 3 shields are crucial. The 8 Gravelstone are referencing a confrontation between Godfrey and Radagon. So, red wings and surprising attack and a crossed tree. And after all of this, Corrin ends up with the Noble Gold Mask. After these events, on the other side of the bridge, which is kind of like after all of these events, symbolically. So after all of these events, Corrin ends up with a Noble Gold Mask here at this side. And it stands for that he is at the end of all what happened in Farmer Azula. He's actually siding or falling for the greater will. And that's why Corrin ends up here next to the Gold Mask. It's also the reason why here is probably placed a Dragon Wound Grease, because it's all dragon related. There's some other stuff. The the Gold Mask lays down there. There are 2 purple boluses as well, probably referencing Marika. In the middle is a lump of flesh, somewhere over there, probably hinting to a corpse. Yeah, so I think that's what's referenced here, especially along this road and with Corrin. And here right next to it is also the protection of the Earth Tree incantation, which refers to that Radagon actually protected Marika's soul in the end and took his inside of him. Why are Radagon having dragon bellies in his flight? I don't know. I think probably because I would say it could be that he's like maybe the same reason why he hates his red hair, maybe. Or in general his past. Oh, yeah. It could also be, I mean, he's kind of half dead. But there's one attack animation that has actually an Ancient Dragon relationship. Because one of his attacks is the exact same attack animation like the Bolt of Grandsex. I don't know if you've ever realized this, but one of his attacks is he jumping up into the air and throwing a spear. And it's the exact same animation like you have on the Bowl of Grand Six. So, but if you recall those three shields, the Scorpion Kite shield, the Crossed Tree Great Shield, and the Red Crest Heater shield depicting red wings, it's exactly what we have in the DLC. We have a city associated with scorpions and who was intruded by someone else, by a red-haired character, referenced by the Scorpion Kite shield. Unseen surprising attack, invaded by a red-haired character, Scorpion Kite shield. You got the Crossed Tree Great Shield, referencing a crossed tree. We got the Shadow Tree. And we got a Red Dragon referenced through the Red Crest Heater shield. So it all ends up, it's what they actually done is they took this reference from the base game and fleshed it out with an entire map, trying to tell the story that was actually referenced through Korn and this road in more detail. So they took these themes which were already inside the base game, just referenced with really, really little details, and fleshed the whole story out. And that's also a reason. So when it comes to, we got Radahn in Annihilum, we got Mesmer in Shadowkeep, and we got Bale at Jack Peak. And all of these, in my opinion, are Radagon parallels. So when it comes to Mesmer, who intruded a city and burned divine beasts down, which is in the base game reference to the Scorpion Kite shield and on Corrin's journey. I think it's actually about Radagon, who intruded from Azula and was slaying the golden lineage, probably there, or Godfrey at least. When it's about Bale, it's also about Radagon, who fought in Farmer Azula. And in the end, it is Radahn, I think, is also Radagon parallel, symbolically referring to Radagon actually falling for the Greater Will and becoming one of his followers, who's actually serving the Elden Ring afterwards. So I think all of this is actually about Radagon here, for the most part at least. Oh, let's see if I now get beaten up. Oh shit. Oh. That's nice. It might even be the Radar fruit, which is actually referring to Radagon. The shattering refers to the mythology and even characters. Another on the nose, little pun-like eyes and fingers. What pun do we have in mind there? I don't quite understand. when it comes to these events in the distant past, I don't know if Godwyn was already present there. I don't see anything where he might already be present there. I think it's because, especially because it's a story in that very distant past of Farmer Zula. There might be nothing about Godwyn, probably. The Godwyn story of in Leyndell is probably more like a setup for our story in the end. Okay, we got the Radar fruit. I think when it comes to the Radar fruit, they are probably using this to reference Radagon. There's at least one place where I think it's like that. Which is kind of what is kind of funny is that they look purple, but I think it's exactly these which turn into what is called spirit grass, spirit grave grass. So what we see all over this place is probably spirit grave grass. So they turn kind of gold. Because, Sneaky, I think there is a huge time gap between the events of Farmer Zula and later on when the Earth Tree was born, I think, more or less. For one, I think there's a huge time gap, and I think Radagon actually resurrected in between. And... well, at least I think so. I'm still not sure. But when you recall the description of the Grave to Blood Greatsword, where it is about a champion, a lone surviving champion of a country now vanished, I think it's about Radagon and Farmer Zula. I don't think he was killed. I think I'm still theorizing that after he probably after Radagon probably fought on Farmer Zula, I think he merged together with Renna and her soul in the Black Moon of Noxtella in some kind of graven mess. So I think he kind of resurrected himself, but with Renna's soul inside of him in this kind of graven mess, which is actually the Black Moon of Noxtella. That's what I think. And it was also probably also the event where the Eternal Cities were leveled underground, in my opinion. So, but it's something that I think is in the very distant past, where we still got the crossed tree. So, when it comes to Godwyn's story, I think Godwyn's story is more or less happening in the current Earth Tree era, not in the distant Farmer Zula era. At least that's what I think for now. So, red flesh mushroom. Graveside Plain. Summer Plain, Covenant Spirit Graves. The spiral tower of the Hornswind lies to the northwest, and the entire expanse is marred by the harrowing ravages of war. You know, I don't know why, but they are highlighting and emphasizing the red and white theme. I think it was already present in the base game when it comes to sliver of meat and strip of white flesh. But now they are re-emphasizing this theme through mushrooms. But which are also... So I think they do this a lot. And because I realized it a lot. And what they're doing is they take themes that were already present in the base game. So... And they're re-emphasizing them just with other items. So, for example, we got like here, sliver of meat and strip of white flesh. There's something going on with bloody creatures and bloodless creatures. And now in the DLC, we got red flesh mushroom and white flesh mushroom. And for some reason, they are re-emphasizing this, and I think because it's recognizable that they are re-emphasizing this theme, there might be something to it that we might have not understood yet. Milky white. I don't know if there's something to it, but the red and white theme reminds me of Vade or the Blood Swamp and its design, because there are white flowers and a lot of blood. It's incredibly dark. Oh, there should be... Oh, these are a few things that I still don't understand what they are. So, turquoise light, larval tier. An exceptionally rare creature, the burgeons from spirit graves. What does burgeons mean? Like, lives only a fleeting existence, neither flesh nor spirit, something in between. I wonder if this might refer to someone, maybe to a shaman's soul grows from. Okay. Hmm. Reverse spirit ash. Oh, a tooltip. I mean, are we literally consuming spirits here by consuming revered spirit ashes? Okay, what I tried to do now in the DLC is looking at all of this item, looking at the item placement, with keeping in mind now that it might be all referring to the story of Radigan and the distant farmer Zula. So that's why I really look forward to the item placement now with a fresh new perspective. Black Firefly. Bro. Greater Potentate's Cookbook. Dark and Slender. Might be. Five red flesh mushroom. Okay. Ouch. You think it's a lot? There are some places where we get 5 times of an item, but yeah, I mean, you're still right though that there might be something to it. Like, I mean, I think it always that there might be something to it. Hefty cracked pot. Two for calling finger remedy. So in the base game, I interpret them as a reference to Grace, to the Call of Grace. Oh, they're doing a lot of damage. Jesus. Go for this. think I haven't changed the Ash of Wars of my Warhawk talents. Oh, I didn't remember that you could actually open it. I just tried because there was nothing. Blade of Mercy. A thin, blood-stained dagger. No longer fit for use. Raises attack power after each critical hit. Also employed this to honorably end the suffering of a compatriot. After claiming numerous lives, the dagger is now broken, but has quite a spectral aura. You know what's interesting is? I think it got the Hellas inside of it. And I start to wonder if it might refer to Marika. Or Rena. And her soul that only survived. The Hellas? Is it called Hellas? This spiral like pattern. In German it would be helix. But I think it's Hellas and Hellas? Helix? Helix? Yeah. Is it helix or Hellas? Hellas? Like the spiral-like pattern that you got on the old Elden Ring, for example, and on the back of Ladder's cape, for example. Yeah, helix. So whenever the helix pattern appears, I think it might be about overall shape. Yeah, it's just a little bit inside of it. So after claiming numerous lives, the dagger is now broken, but has quite a spectral aura. I wonder if this might refer to Marika Renna, who were who at some point in Farmer Azula died, but her soul survived inside of Radagon, for example. And I still don't know what this, you know, in the icon there is some interesting shield on it with an interesting pattern. You know, they had a whole team just designing the icons and often put visual information into these icons that are not in the flavor text there. So it's always a good idea to look closely into those details. Oh, there's another item. Shadow Realm Rune 2. what does the Shadow Realm 2 says? The Shadow Tree is the shadow of the Earth Tree. No wonder grace shines ever so brilliantly. I still want to know what the shadow of the Earth Tree might actually mean, because, you know, if we really imagine that we have the current Earth Tree era, and if we imagine a distant past Farm Azula era with the Crossed Tree, then maybe it's like Shadow of the Earth Tree because it was the tree before it, but which was also connected to Renna, which is still present in the current era. I don't know if that makes sense. So, whenever it is about the Shadow Tree, I think it's about the Crossed Tree, right? Just as an information. And as I said earlier, or in one of my videos, I think it's especially the DLC is probably is meant even more in a symbolic way, where almost everything is referencing something that is actually already in the base game. When it comes to the haunts, and I mean, we had the Blade of Mercy here, referring to the haunts, and I'm wondering what the haunts might actually represent in the story of the base game. So it says, haunts employed this to honorably end the suffering of a compatriot after claiming numerous lives, and dagger is now broken by the sacred spectral aura. So just with the idea of mind that this blade might be a reference to Renna of the distant Farm Azula era, the haunts might be like, yeah, probably the people of Farm Azula, like the beings that were present there. So I think Bellerod and any Ilum is like are probably, yeah, representing Leyndell or Farm Azula, probably, I would say. Which was intruded by Radagon. And although I don't know what the blade actually might refer to, it's interesting to read between the lines there. I know. All your resentment lingers yet. The raw stuff from which I shall surely forge a curse upon the dust that Mesmer's head, upon America's children, each and all. It's such an interesting line. I don't know what it refers to. And I don't know from which perspective it's even said. Because, you know, whenever it comes to America, there are different possibilities. Like, maybe it's about Radagon as America. Maybe it's about America Renna. But the line upon the dust that Mesmer's head is a bit interesting. A simpler word for parallels. That's kind of interesting. There's still an item. Or is it just from one of those? Oh, it's just dropped. Okay. Oof. It's so dark. And you know what's interesting? Wait. Oh, this dropped from an enemy, right? Yeah. I can't distinguish what was dropped by an enemy and what not. Shit. Okay, so it even fits if we consider the Haunsent of Belorod standing for the people of the Farmer Zula era. It even makes sense. If you think of the Sun Realm soldiers, for example. And we even find beings with Sun Realm shields in Farmer Zula. They are also related to death sorcery, right? So death sorcery was probably present in the Farmer Zula era. We can see that, for example, in the Sun Realm soldiers, the twin bird, which might be related to Farmer Zula, is also connected to death sorceries. So that the Haunsent are related or connected to death sorceries kind of makes sense when we see everything as a parallel to the distant Farmer Zula era. Shadow Tree Fragment, Silver Horn Tender. How many did I just pick up? I think it was just one, right? Yeah. These are strange items to have red flesh mushrooms, silver horn tender, and a shadow tree fragment. Do you think the twin bird is the divine bird warrior, the honest tamed? Not sure. But I also have, but I already have someone in mind as a parallel regarding the bird warrior Oni. But that will be something when we are there. But if you want to know what I have in mind, I think the Divine Bird Warriors are, and especially the Bird Warrior Onis and his Spirit Ashes are, I think it's about Godfrey's clan, or Godfrey, actually. Because think about it, I think before Godfrey had Serosh, I think his crest was the Golden Hawk. It's the old crest of Stormvale as well. I think it's probably related to distant past, and I think so. These are just like really artful designed NPCs or enemies that are referencing people of a distant past related to Stormvale and probably Godfrey, in my opinion. Especially Godfrey. I think it's especially about Godfrey before he got Zerosh. But I think it's especially related to the old crest of Stormvale, which is a golden hawk. It becomes incredibly difficult, I think, because it's all about distant past, where we have even less information about. Three black firefly. So, when it comes to Godfrey, I haven't described it. So, just what the fuck? Let me sketch it for you. So, I think there was a very distant past of Godfrey, before he joined. Okay, so there was probably a different past of Godfrey related to Farmer Zula, and maybe even in the more distant past. And I think his crest was at that time probably the Golden Hawk, which was also the crest of Stormvale in the ancient times. And what's interesting is, so then everything regarding Radigan opposing America and the current Urge Tree era happens. He got banished, right? How I described it in my videos as well. He got banished, the Tarnished was slaughtered, and he alone survives. And from there on, he's taking on the old crest again. And I think that's what happens actually. So I think he kind of realizes, okay, Radigan was posing as America, he was betrayed and seduced, and from there on he conspires with America against him. And he's taking on the old Golden Hawk crest again, as a crest, under which he might siege Lane Dell. And it's even paralleled with in regard to Nephili, which is Nephili even refers to these circumstances, because Nephili appears in the Albignog village, which is paralleling the events of the banishment and slaughter of the Tarnished. Is losing her guidance and does not serve Gideon as the Greater Will anymore. So afterwards, the desperate Nephili is paralleling Godfrey after his banishment, and then Nephili takes the Stormhawk King. And it's, in my opinion, representing and paralleling the circumstances that Godfrey, after his banishment, is taking on the old crest of Stormvale again and start to revolt against Radigan together with Maricarena afterwards. It's getting complicated, guys. I'm sorry. And take all of this with a grain of salt, because I'm still trying to flesh all of these things out for myself. I think the ruin over here might already be a little microcosm. We have a lot of sheeps. I shouldn't have taken the route through the middle. The worst part is not to overlook any items, because these areas are so huge. But there are so less items. Is this a common statue? Yeah. Over there's another one. Hey, Inkscript. Glad to see you coming by. We made it. Western Nameless Mausoleum. Oh. I don't know if there's something to this one in particular, because we got 4 of those mausoleums, and 3 of them contain a red coded character, but this one is a little bit different, I think, because the character is just not red coded. And I think the 3 other mausoleums are definitely referring to Radigan, but I don't know if that's also the case in regard to this one. I'm not doing much damage. And I'm probably 2 hit. Yeah, okay, not exactly, but okay. Oh shit. I shouldn't have. Yeah, what the fuck? Whoop whoop. Okay, I should have visited the Sites of Grace to upgrade my Shadow Tree blessings, probably. But we got this. Oh, how many runes did I have? Okay, that's not too much. Oh my god. Oops. Okay, it's like one mistake and I'm done. Shit! Woo! The second one hits incredibly hard. Wait, you get a potion? Shit. I'm fucking afraid when I'm not full HP. Let me alone. Why is he storming on me with the crossbow? Oh, I fucked up. Bro, why is he so aggressive? Great Sword of Solitude. You know, what's really interesting is that the Helm of Solitude somehow reminds me of the Tree Giant in Night Rain, or yeah. I don't know if you recall the Tree Giant in the end cutscene of Night Rain in the ending that you usually got. Steel Helm of the Knights of the Solitary Jail. Whole body and overlapping plates of steel. The nameless mausoleum of the realm of shadow are said to hold the spirits of warriors who lost their names or their hearts. Oh, we get the heart metaphor, or the heart symbolism, especially here in particular. The dawn ending, yeah. I don't think that the jail aspect is referenced in the other mausoleums, right? In the other mausoleums, it's not referred to a jail or so. It's unique to this one, right? The nameless mausoleums of the realm of shadows are said to hold the spirits of warriors who lost their names or their hearts. I think especially Radagon is someone who probably has no name. It could also refer to us, though. But it's probably about Radagon. And losing your heart, I think it's like, once again, I think they're using heart here as a symbol for the soul. The nameless mausoleums of the realm of shadow are said to hold the spirits of warriors who lost their names or their hearts. And in all of the other three cases, I would say it's definitely referring to Radagon, because we got 3 other red-coded characters. And I'm pretty much convinced that they're all referring to Radagon. Oh, it makes absolute fucking sense. It's the prisoner metaphor. I think it contains the same theme as the prisoner said, probably. It's just metaphorically like depicting a prisoner, you know? I mean, in the helm is literally depicting a cage. Through a secret rite, they relinquish their hearts for heightened battle prowess. Relinquished? Oh, I always forget what relinquished means. Like giving away, like, yeah. To give up. Through a secret rite, they relinquish their hearts for heightened battle prowess. Next, they engrave their blades with 2 crests. One depicting the light of birth and the other solitude. It sounds so familiar. I still think it's either about us or about Radigan. The problem is that I think that Radigan follows a very much similar story than we have. So relinquishing their heart means like giving up their soul. You know? Relinquishing the soul. And the light of birth, I mean, it's like being resurrected by grace, probably. And solitude is what is probably a theme of Radigan's story, but it's also a theme of our story as well, as someone who travels alone, like, and is fighting on its own. More. I still wonder if this is referring to us or to Radagon. Solitary moon slash. Sharply slash downward using the great sword, shooting forward an arc of light, strong attack allows for an advancing follow-up. I think another really interesting detail is that I think there's a difference between white light and golden light. And this is one of the weapons that uses white light. And I don't know if this is the same as unalloyed gold or light. But I think there's definitely something going on with the white light. Still wonder if this is referring to us. It would be cool to have like 3 mausoleums referring to Radagon with 3 as a sign of a bad omen, and 1 mausoleum referring to us. I think that's what would be a cool idea. Yeah, moon slash. Exactly, Sneaky Tuttle. You are absolutely right. It's something that since the beginning made me wonder why there's a difference between the Mikola's rings in the base game and the DLC, because in the DLC they are described as golden lights and depicted as so, but it's not in the base game. Because when you look at them, the base game alone, I thought the discrepancy between Mikola and Radagon might be the gold, because Radagon's rings of light are described as gold, while the ones of Mikola are not. And so, I don't know. It's something that I just noticed and that I was thinking about. There might definitely be something going on. So, where are we heading next? Hey, Zed. I think we're going down to the Church of... What is it? Church of Benediction? Are these the trees of the mountaintops, by the way? Hey, donkey shot. It would be interesting to see them right next to each other and just see if they are the same model. Okay, we have broken warriors here. Oh. Single one. As Alexander's Jar nephew says, that Alexander the past may as well be a different country. Yes, exactly. That's a metaphor. Metaphorical meanings. Have you found it on your own? Because it's one of my favorite lines. So, because I think they are using this metaphor whenever they say a far away country, it might be just a country of the distant past or a country of the distant future. So they are kind of veiling these informations behind metaphors. You broke down mentally? Yeah, you can't imagine how often I broke down mentally because I realized some was reading some stuff into things that I haven't done before. Okay, we got some items over here. We got a lot of broken warriors who just are not reacting. A broken card could refer to some kind of accident. Glass shard. Okay, we got the glass shard, guys. You know, glass shard is an item that has no use inside of the game. Absolutely no use. And I'm theorizing that it might refer to the tarnished. Because it says that it's a glass shard covered in dirt. So maybe it's just a little, yeah, like a pun, like an illusion. Little nod to tarnished. Still not sure though. Black firefly. And 10 arrows. I can't say if it's actually stretching its hand to the suppressing pillar. Could be. It could be. Could be. The sky is changing so much. Bro. That scream. 2 lump of flesh. Guys, don't forget we still don't know the actual story. I mean, it might even be that we are misinterpreting some stuff, right? Because from my perspective, for example, I think Mary Carena is portrayed actually as a really good person. But when it comes to traumas, I think there are several people dealing with trauma in this game. Is there any other place where we got such a screaming owl? Guys, you're welcome to discuss any topics in the chat, but I just want to remind you to stay civil. That's the only thing that I want you to remember. It just feels like a hot topic. Okay, what do we have here? Like, is this one is actually attacking me, right? Yeah. So many broken warriors. Maybe hot topic wasn't the the right word for that. I mean, yeah. Church of Consolation. What does consolation mean? Oh shit. Oh shit. I have to jump, I guess. Oh, I have no flasks anymore. Oh, yeah, I have. Okay. Oh, I'm fucking up. Guys, please, please chill. I don't. Oh, 2 smithing stone 6. You're always dropping these? I mean, Nomad is right. I mean, every one of us has different interpretations, and it's sometimes not really clear what how Miyazaki would portray his characters sometimes, or what background stories they actually have. I still... But Inkscript, could you explain what you mean? Are you completely done? Is your point of view regarding Elden Ring and Miyazaki just as bad as like you said? I mean, you shouted your fragments. I remembered you as someone who's a lore enthusiast, Inkscript. I don't know what changed your mind. So, if you want to explain it, you're welcome. But I just don't want to this chat to being blown up, you know. I mean, it might be your perspective, but from my perspective, and I have to say I'm really diving deep into these details as well. I don't think that Marika, when we are talking about Marika at least, I don't think that she's actually portrayed in a bad way. And I don't see like why does it have to be so would you say trauma of women, and I don't think that trauma is only a topic related to women in Elden Ring. I think it's trauma is a general theme in regard to many characters, but what makes you think that it's something especially related to women in this case? I mean, Inkscript, when you are frustrating with the community and the lore researchers, I can understand this, because lore research is indeed frustrating at times. But then it's sometimes maybe a good idea to take a step back and maybe distance yourself from the game too. I don't know. And I don't know in what way Marika might be an SA victim and genocide. I mean, my interpretations, for example, would make her look very differently. I think the genocide, for example, is something that Radigan and the Greater Will were causing, for example. And I think when it comes to Radigan and Marika, for example, I think both of them, but I think Radigan and Marika, both of them are incredibly traumatized in some way, or have their own issues at least. I mean, that's human after all. and issues that you have to deal with is something you need in a story. I mean, we're in the end we're not in like in paradise. It's probably the opposite here. Oh jeez. We got a huge waterfall over here. I wonder if there's some waterfall symbolism going on here. I mean, we all agree that exploitation and sexual assault is not a good thing. I mean, that's not questioned here. It's just, you know, ink script. I don't think that people are against these values in general that that you want to defend, probably. I mean, there are several games where you can play just one specific character. I mean, some games have a male protagonist, some games have female protagonists. I mean, I don't see why this is now a bad thing when it happens just once. But so is Miyazaki not allowed to create a game with a male character as a protagonist? Are they not reacting at all? They're all kind of broken. English script, I really have to say that I think you have I don't think that Miyazaki is like you portray him right now, actually, with the last few comments. I don't think that Miyazaki chose a male protagonist just because he wanted to exclude women. I think they just went for a male protagonist because that's what made the most sense for them, or what they decided, because they wanted to go with a given character, and they decided for themselves for a male character. I mean, otherwise you could have said that they would exclude male, like man. I mean, so whatever you do, it's wrong in the end. This with these thoughts. It's gotta be bait. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like bait, but I've never seen ink script like that, so that's why I'm a bit worried. Okay, we got to fire coil. Fire was a symbol of the crusade, and even mass monster rank and file soldiers would wield it. From the other games of the octopus? Oh, maybe. I'm thinking a lot about the waterfall symbolism here. I just wonder if they applied it here. We also get the Black Steel Great Hammer. Weapon of the Black Knights, Servants of Mesmer, the Impaler, Great Hammer of Black Steel with decorative embellishments in gold. Blessed with an Earthtree incantation. Further holy imbuement will amplify the effect and greatly increase the owner's power. God can cause a burst of power. Did you know that it's actually resembling the one of Radigan's attacks? Where you're punching down this hammer and you get some like those golden cracks and explosion on the ground. It's pretty much an attack of Radigan, I think. By the way, guys, what does consolation mean? I mean, it's the Church of Consolation. To comfort? To comfort? Oh, to comfort after a loss of some sort. Special physical takes all ailments. I wonder what this might refer to, actually. Once but never again, yeah. I'm wondering. Blessing of America. Maybe it's related to the Blessing of America here, the Church of Consolation. Oh, we have night, right? So we can probably find Wolverine in here somewhere. Where's Wolverine? Oh, there he is. We even have a lot of beasts here next to him. So, a lot of beasts. Logan. Logan the Beastclaw. Let's go. Ouch. Is he completely naked, by the way? Oh, I'm doing almost no damage. For fuck's... What? Okay, definitely should upgrade my Shadowtree blessings. He's naked, but he got a potion. Is he rolling under me? I'm so cooked. Shit. Yeah. His claws look like zeros to me. Yeah, I think it's probably a reference to Godfrey. I think. Oh, wait. I think the beast claws are even hinting at the fact there's a really important cutscene or a moment in Godfrey's cutscene when he transitions to Horalu. There's this moment where he's holding his hand upside down, and you see Zero's claw right next to it. And what's interesting is that their movement aligns. So when Horalu is moving his hand, Zero's hand, which is disappearing at the same moment, moves in the exact same way. And I think it's just some representing that Horalu is taking in Zero's soul and powers, and which is also the reason why he's acting like a beast afterwards. And the beast claws over there from Logur, I think they actually contains a reference to these circumstances. Just let me try to get these. Where his hand and the claws align. Yeah, exactly. So let's try to upgrade. And it's exactly this line, Sneaky Turtle, yeah. Being possessed by a beast. I think that's what happens in a way when Godfrey is so I don't think that Zero is in charge when Godfrey is taking him in, but I think the powers you get through this act of consuming a soul are kind of overwhelming sometimes. I mean, it's the same thing that you have in Dragon Communion. And I think they are implementing Beast Claw here to point out exactly these circumstances. So I think we don't have a lot of... I think there is a lot of stuff that we have in the DLC is actually just emphasizing hints that we already had in the base game. And in this case, it's a relationship between Zerosh and Godfrey. I have to take the other swords. I'm cooked. Okay, we get the Beast Claw. And they are very much look like a Zerosh's claw that appear right next to Horalu's hand. Weapon in the form of a carnivorous beast's vicious claws. Used to perform bestial slashing attacks uncanny to humankind. An imitation of the esoteric technique of the Horned Warriors. It's interesting that they say Horned Warriors and not like Hornsent or so. Horned Warriors? Those who carry this weapon wield it as though they have been possessed by a savage beast. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I would say it's probably referencing like what are these warriors in Ballarat referred to? They're not called Horned Warriors, right? Aren't they called like Divine? No. Savage Claws. Pounds like a beast to viciously slash into foe with left and right claws. Wait, is it also the place where you found the two lump of flesh? Or where was it? Oh, it was over there. Are they called Horned Warriors? It's in some areas, in some descriptions. I mean, is he rolling away from me, bro? He got such huge horns. Is that a common sheep? You know, I just never really pay attention to these small enemies. But this one looks awesome. And the Horned Warriors supposedly modeled themselves after a great hero. Exactly, yeah. I think there's something going on with Godfrey or Horalu in the very distant past. I don't know why you're always trying to connect everything to Godwyn, Sneaky. I don't mind, but it's just something that I realized, or that I noticed, I mean. You think Godfrey may have been the Beast Region? Could be. I don't know. Ouch. I just think that the story revolves more around Godfrey riding in America, or Renner. And less about Godwyn, actually. But that's just my take. I mean, feel free to interpret and speculate. So, paintings. I haven't spoken of the paintings in the DLC yet. Yeah, Dark Moon, exactly. I think the placement is a bit weird because it's just a dark cave. Usually every painting has an interesting area that you can find them in. But it's not this one. The Sacred Tower painting. There is something inside of this painting which reminds me, or which I connect to the Greater Will, and it is these the pattern of those sun rays. They appear pretty often in the game. It's those rays that are spreading from an object that you can't see, that is outside of the painting. You know what I mean? Like you got one sun ray down, one slightly to the left, one slightly to the right, and it's I think it's a pattern that even appears in the base game. It's pretty often. And I think, I mean, the first association that comes to mind would be a sun, right? And it appears, for example, on the Earth Tree banners in the Orisa Hero's Grave, but it also appears on the Knights set on the Cape, for example. For example, if you look at the Lanedale Knights set, it's always these rays that are coming down. Do you see this? Do you know what I mean? It always looks like you got those rays shining down, and it appears on some design. I think it's also on the Godric Knights set. Is it on the Radahn set? I don't think though. I don't think so. No. It's on the later Knight armor, on the Godric's Knight armor. In Orisa's Hero's Grave, you can see these rays on the banners as well. And because I associate the sun and light itself to the Greater Will, I think it's a little... Yeah, it's connected to him and... or to it, and... referencing his influence, probably. Okay. What do we have next? Inquisitors. Yeah, and Radagon's, yeah, you're absolutely right, Stangabu. I mean, it's also Radagon's attack that has these rays. Oh, and the malformed dragon helmet armor. I think the malformed dragon set from the Sentinels also have these. It's also these rays that you see on the set. It even starts with With the Malcolm Dragon on the helmet, that what you see are these rays, these 5 coming down, that are going through the whole armor set. The whole armor. I mean. Backhand blade. With backhand grip, type of weapon haunted for generations. The style of combat associated with this weapon is marked by spinning slashes, engorging thrust attacks. Oh, that sounds incredibly like Radagon. Thrust attacks, the spinning slashes. At least I have a suspicion that spinning slash, the Ash of War spinning slash, might actually be referred to Radagon. I think it's even a move that the Red Wolf of Radagon is using, the spinning slash. Or maybe I'm just wrong there, I don't know. Okay, blind spot. Dip into close quarters to take advantage of the enemy's blind spot and gore them from the side. This attack slips below the opponent's guard. It could be referring to Radagon abusing, like, or taking advantage of a blind spot of Godfrey. Maybe. Hey Stango, by the way, when it comes to these parallels, I really struggle with Millicent. I'm still struggling with Millicent, and I'm sometimes not sure how to interpret her as a parallel. But I have similar thoughts. So I would also say it's either Marika or Melina. But I lean towards Marika's for some reason. I don't know, but I'm not sure. And Malenia is sometimes a bit weird too. So I'm still struggling with these. One grave glove ward and one smithing stone. No. One grave glove ward 3. That's an incredibly weird item. Find. One grave glove ward 3. It makes absolutely no fucking sense why you find something like this here. Because it's in the middle of nothing. There are stars, actually. Didn't know we have stars. Or is it pointing to the entrance? Like maybe it's pointing towards the entrance over there. Carved words coalesce. I born here the first of the flesh of my body. Maybe the grave glove word is pointing towards this one over here. I mean, it was exactly in this direction. Maybe it has to do because this is the first of the flesh of his body. There's a line of stars in the sky that twink near the moon sometimes. Interesting. Pyrian blood burgeon. A young shoot heavy with Pyrian blood. Let a burgeon forth from where the golden blood of Miquella, the wounded Pyrian, pooled. The golden blood. I've never realized that it says golden blood. Jesus, it's so dark you can't see anything.
Ah, Lady Leda spoke of you. You're that tarnished. Guided here by kindly Miquella. Won't we all? I am Freya. I once fought alongside General Radahn. In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own.
I think she's actually a Godfrey parallel. So, and whenever it says that someone fought alongside Radahn, I think it's actually about Godfrey and the Tarnished who fought alongside Marika in the war against the Giants, but it was actually Radagon posing as Marika. So, whenever it says someone who fought alongside Radahn, I think it's about Godfrey and the Tarnished who fought alongside Radagon in the war against the Giants, for example. I want to have a sword, actually.
Oh, another thing. Did you speak to our dour little friend? If you've yet to do so, have him give you a map of the Cross's whereabouts. You'll find more of them dotted about these lands. They are Miquella the Kind's footprints.
Yeah, especially the thorns. I mean, in all of the other cases, I think we can, or at least in some of the cases, we can definitely associate the thorns with Radagon. Then they are heavily linked or related to the color red as well. And I mean, they are definitely Radagon's thorns, which block the entrance to the Earth Tree as well. And I'm convinced that even the thorns in Stormvale are related to Radagon. So YouTube shows suggested it was anyone but Radagon. Do you mean the thorns in on the mountaintops, or which thorns? I am at least convinced that it was Radagon's involvement.
If you've yet to do so, be sure to have our dour little friend share his map of crosses, assuming you intend to trace kind Miquella's path.
I mean, just because everyone's saying it wasn't Radagon doesn't mean it's actually true. right? I think the biggest problem is just that. Yeah, that's something I already saw, Stango. It's not only that. Some others pointed out for me that it's not only the malformed dragon with the tail fin on the helmet. You can even see the tail fin on the shield and the armor set as well. I think the tail fin is also on the knees and on the shield used by them. I think the biggest problem when it comes to Radagon's involvement in the war against the Giants is that Radagon is never mentioned. So, and people just think there is just not enough pointing towards his involvement. But I think, so how I interpret his story is, I think he was already posing as Marika at this from there on. The face, yeah. What I think is interesting is the hair of the malformed dragon. You know, because it looks definitely like a long golden mane. So the Hornson is a hard one. Because I suspect that even the Hornson might be Godfrey parallel, but I'm not fully convinced yet. It's just my suspicion.
Fie, another. Treading the heels of Miquella. Then, as that woman would surely say, we are in our purposes well aligned. But understand, your kind are not forgiven. The Earth Tree is my people's enemy. By Marika long betrayed. Set aflame. I believe Miquella's apologies when he says our delivery will come, but never will I see your kind as worthy. And yet my oath I cannot overlook. If Miquella it is whom you would seek, then comrade, allow me to give you this. These are the sites of the crosses I found. I urge you, follow after Miquella. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
I can't decide if he's either a Radagon parallel or a Godfrey parallel. That's my biggest issue with him.
I urge you, follow after Miquella. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
And this one is also like hawk coded for some reason. Little bird on it. Because there's a line when he dies where he says something about a mother, a woman, and a child, and I don't see Radagon in any way caring for a child. So that's why I suspect that he might be more of a Godfrey parallel. Because I think, or he's mentioning wife and child. I think he's yeah, I think he says something about his wife and a child for some reason. And it's nothing that I connect with Radagon at all. So that's why I was still struggling with them. But it's a incredibly weird parallel. Or he's a Godwyn Pearl, I don't know. Could also be. But that doesn't make sense either. Blessed wife and child may not be his. Exactly. The betrayal by Radagon would fit incredibly well. But there are some lines that are still weird though.
I urge you, follow after Miquella as long as you abide by his footfalls.
And it's especially because, okay, so I'm pretty sure when it comes to Masma, that Masma's a Radagon parallel. So the Haunson seeking vengeance towards Masma, I don't know in which way that would make sense if it would be a Radagon parallel, you know? Though it could also make sense if he's a Godwyn parallel, but I don't know if that fits. I don't see anything regarding a wife and child when it comes to Godwyn. So, let's get the Lion's Claw Ash of War. I think it was somewhere over here. Yeah, here we got it. It's just, there's nothing interesting here next, right? So. I still wonder why they placed this here. Savage Lion's Claw. So, in the base game, I was pretty sure that the Lion's Claw is a Godfrey reference. So, because of this, I would suspect that this is also a Godfrey reference in the DLC. Might be related to the village over there. I don't know. Three path cross? Never realized this name. Oh, it's the name of the Sites of Grace. Why is it called Three Path Cross? I don't see three paths. Wait, that's so fucking weird. It's probably just to highlight the number 3, but you do? Do you see 3 paths? I mean, isn't it just 1 and 2? I mean, you could see 4. Okay, that kind of makes sense. If you look from the center, there are 4, but they're definitely not 3. 3 path cross, or okay. The only thing I can see 3 paths will be if you come from one side, then you got 3 possibilities to move on. That's the only thing it would make sense to me. Yeah. It would make sense if you come from one path and then you got like 3 options. Yeah, left, right, or forward. That's okay. That's true. In this way, it makes sense. It's nonetheless, I think it's a pretty weird name. Yeah, it's definitely deliberate. I would say so, too. But we as a player come from here, right? You know, I think there might be something going on with the number 3. Maybe they just wanted to highlight the number 3 because it's also the first cross that we find. So they're not only when they are highlighting the cross, it's like the 3-path cross, or is cross referencing the streets. No, I think it's referencing the cross of Mikela, right? And maybe it's more important than we think because it's the first one. Maybe it's just referencing that there's something bad going on with Mikela leaving behind his flesh. You know, maybe they are highlighting the number 3 because there's something bad going on with Mikela abandoning his flesh, and that's why they call it 3-path cross. But you're right. It could also be that if you come from Belrad, for example, you got 3 ways. But it's kind of strange because, you know, we as a player come from this side, and then, I mean, they think a lot about perspectives. And they should have in mind that we come from this side, and then you should see it as like left, right, and forward. I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry. You have to wait a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Ash of War. Claymore. Savage Lion's Claw. 600. These are like 50. I really love to have the sword of Freya. Would be wild. What is this one doing, by the way? Oh, it's just one. Ah. Let's see, what else do we have? I think I just go with the lighting slash again. And it annoys me to see the incantation that I can't use, so okay. Now we got it.
In battle, you can be sure I'll...
Yeah, but you should be sure.
I urge you, follow up as long as you abide by his footfalls.
Oh, let's try out the incantation first. Oh, I love that skill. Does it have a follow-up? I mean, there was additional input. Yeah, okay, that's it. When do we get Freya's sword, by the way? When do we get this? Probably at the very end, right? Do you guys know how to obtain this sword, or at what time in her quest line we get it? After we kill her in the grand battle at the very end. Oh, that's sad. That's so sad. We checked the first area here at least already. So we got a bridge. And What? Why is it called Great Bridge North? I don't think it's really near to the bridge, actually. You think Millicent is a Godwyn parallel? Although I think there might be some allusions hidden in her dialogue towards us. The thing is, Gowry says that Millicent's memories still remain, though they might be veiled. Is veiled the right term? Like, Gowry says that her memories probably still are still there, just that she just can't remember yet. And because of this, because of these circumstances, I think it might be about America actually. Because I think obscured, veiled, yeah. Because you know, I think America Renner's story follows similar got a similar arc like Revenant's Remembrance, where it's about remembering something bad from the past. And Gowry says that Millicent, although you usually lose your memories through rot, that her memories are still there, though she just can't remember everything right now. And that's something that made me suspect that it might be about Marika right now. Okay, we got burned down houses. Oh, how it hurts from the very tip to toe. Help me, I must ask, am I human still? Is that the reason I yet suffer so? People turning into flies. Fly mode. Known for its deathly sweet stench. Man flies. Cultivated using the flesh and blood of man flies, it can serve as pot innards. Broken Rune. I just realized that it's not even saying Rune 1. It's not saying Shadow Realm Rune 1. It's just saying Broken Rune. Is it a special one? Do Shadow Realm Rune 1 exist even? Or they're different runes? Oh, it's just a way bigger rune, actually. Okay, never mind. Broken and faded, threatening to dissipate entirely. broken and faded? Dissipate means like disappearing, right? Or does it mean something like withering away? Disappear, yeah. You know, I never really realized that, but it's interesting to see that the color of the sky changes like continuously, even if you stand at the same spot for a longer time. There's some interpretations regarding this that I have, but I will discuss them or make some commentary regarding these colors in the sky when I'm on the suppressing pillar. Extinguish. Ah, okay. I mean, now it's kind of purple. Purple, blue, red. Oh, oh shit. Oh, holy hell. Come on, let me go. No! What? I jumped into his grab tag. Shit. I should go with the other ones. Oh, they are in Deep of Night? Oh, shit. I haven't played Deep of Night. So... I might try Deep of Night after this playthrough, maybe. Or just play a little bit in between. So this guy is interesting, because it's only him here. And spawning like those... These fly swarms. Yeah, I might do the Remembrance again, maybe, but not as. But I won't stream as much probably Night Rain as I do right now in the base game, because when I'm done with this playthrough, I definitely want to continue the video, producing the videos. Though I might use my time to structure a lot of informations. I'm even thinking about creating a wiki online, because it's just too much information. I have to structure them. Ailment Talisman. So When the weak were infected with the dreaded fly sickness, they perished well before the metamorphosis could take hold. Only those who cared for the infected and made certain they were given a proper burial were never afflicted themselves. To me, it sounds once again like a conspiracy, like a reference to the conspiracy of Radagon. You know, because it sounds like it says oddly those who cared for the infected and made certain they were given a proper burial were never afflicted themselves. It sounds like it could be an allusion to someone who is conspiring, right? Someone who is the cause for the sickness and who is on his own never afflicted themselves. I mean, blah. So I am suspecting here that it might be referring to the conspiracy of Radagon, who made the Tarnished sick in a way, or poisoned them maybe. And when it comes to the proper burial, I think there should be a pile of corpses down there somewhere too. But when it comes to the proper burial, I think it's even so seen as a reference. I think it might be about Radagon poisoning the Tarnished and burying them afterwards to the Earth Tree's roots, which never happened to Radagon himself. It's just my suspicion right now. I'm still not sure when it comes to the fly sickness what it's about, because the fly sickness is sometimes a bit strange. Because the flies themselves somehow remind me of Astels, for example. You know? Interference by the greater will. It's a strange theme with those with this fly design. I think there's still one item down there somewhere. Oh yeah, there's another shack. Have we missed anything? And by the way, this doesn't look like a proper burial. But we will see at some point, I think, a pile of corpses down here. Oh. Oh, no. No! Don't do that. Is he oh, he's bugged. Literally. He's bugged literally. Oh, I knew there were some items over here. So let's see. Nothing really interesting in that direction. One human bone shard. And what else do we have? Oh, it's such a nice sky. Oh, black firefly 2 times. Maybe it's referring to Radagon's involvement. Now that one's crying. I'm sorry. Greater Potentate's Cookbook. 10. Okay. Hefty Fly Pot. Oh, it does contain the exact same description as it seems, or? The cacophony of their wings assails the sanity of berserkers. That's the exact same description. There's an interesting kind of network of references when it comes to flies and the mad pumpkin heads, I think. It's really weird. Because the mad pumpkin heads, I think they are, for one, they are afraid of light. And the, it sounds paradox, but it's, I think in some of their description, it says that the helmet they are wearing is freeing them of the sense of claustrophobia or so, which sounds paradox because usually you're in a smaller, darker room with the helmet on, but it's kind of comforts them. And I think it's actually about the absence of light. It's a little reference to someone who's fearing the light and probably the influence of the greater will. And on the other hand, the mad pumpkin heads are also described as who are going crazy when they hear bloodshed or a swarm of flies or insects. And yeah. And additionally, we got some of those fly pods, for example, who are mentioning that they are causing berserkers to lose their sanity. As in the one we just found. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Holy hell, how many of them are here? Can you please chill for a moment? Thank you. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, I need to... Where am I? So... Okay, we got an item over here. Let's see. It's just so randomly placed here. 3 white flesh mushroom. Three of them. Hmm. Is there any other item here? Ah, that's from the hounds, from the strays, I mean. Grave bird armor. Oh, wait a second. I think I got a new idea. I think they color coded the grave bird armor set. Yeah, stone armor with a tinge of green. You know the crossed tree great shield is covered in green, for example? And I think they're color coding there some things with the color green. And the grave birds are, I mean, they are evoking the image of a death bird, which are also related to the twin bird, and probably also related to the farm era. So it kind of makes sense that they are maybe color coded with green, with a tinge of green. And a few days ago, I realized that if you are on the Divine Towers in the base game, the sky is also depicted or colored in a greenish tone. Okay, did I miss anything? Probably not. Okay. I think I will fight this guy over here, this dragon, and then I will probably be done for today. Just want to make sure I don't miss any item. Oh, let's see. A lot of red mushrooms. Okay, let's go. Oh, there is an item. Okay. Oh, the great katana? Large katana with a long, heavy blade, a weapon unique to warriors of the land of reeds, designed for aggression. Its armors requires the wielder to throw their entire body into swing it. The slashing takes toned edge inside blood loss. Whetstones. I think it's isn't it like the overhead stance? Isn't it like a skill of Sekiro? I forgot the name. The itchy whatever it is called. Okay, let's go for it. Oh shit. Some moves are new. I don't recognize them. Like this, for example. Fuck's sake, he's fast. Ichimonji, yeah. Ichimonji. Zoom. Zoom. I mean, it could make this fight way easier with the Sacred Blade Edge of War, but but I think its poise is lower than that of the usual dragons. Oh shit, bro. Another one? Okay, let's go for it. It's really difficult to hit the second one. Oh, shit. Oh, it's not reaching that far, okay. Oh, come on. Why is it hitting me now? What? Got it. Dragonheart. Radigans. Thank you, Radigans. I mean, kind of makes sense, right? I mean, we know Radigan is the character that we know almost nothing about, so it kind of makes sense that there are most of the parallels might be about him. To tell his story, no? I mean, I think it makes sense. And I think it's also the reason why Mesmer is on the cover art, because he's just a wonderful Radigan parallel, I think. It's just a weird way of storytelling that From Software is using that we have to adapt to. It's just not a Skyrim. You know? Okay, guys, that's for it for today. I don't know if I'll come online and stream tomorrow, but definitely some point over the weekend or the next days. There's just some things that I have to take care of. So, guys, see ya. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for joining the stream, and yeah. Always glad to see you, and hope you're coming by again in the future. Wish you all a good night.